I followed my mum onto the train. After passing through who knows how many cities, it finally came to a stop. I quickly jumped off after her, trying my best not to lose her and not to get caught. We walked a bit farther and suddenly I just froze. Right in front of me was this calm, beautiful blue beach. The waves kept rushing up to the soft white shore. It was my first time ever seeing the ocean for real. I was totally mesmerized, completely forgetting why I was even there. And by the time I remembered, Mum was already gone. I had no idea when I'd lost her. Hi, I'm Alice. I'm 16. Ever since I was a kid, listening to stories about mermaids, I've had this deep love for the ocean and swimming. Back then, I dreamed of becoming a mermaid, just swimming freely in the sea. And now, I want to be a pro swimmer. But every single time I brought it up, my mum would shut it down immediately. The sea is scary and dangerous. Never go near it. I didn't get it. Was the ocean really that scary? Every year on May 20th, my mum would disappear for a whole day. When she came back, she'd be super sad for days. I asked her over and over, but she never told me anything. I knew she was hiding something from me. So this year, I decided to follow her. But the moment I got to the beach, I lost track of her. While I was panicking, my grandma suddenly showed up. I only saw her once or twice a year when she came to the city to visit us. Looking for your mum. Come home with me. She should be back soon. Wait, Grandma lives by the sea, and no one ever told me. I followed her back to her house, and not long after, Mum returned. When she found out I'd followed her, she was furious. Don't ever do that again. Go home now. Can't Alice stay with me for a while? It's been so long since I've seen her, Grandma pleaded. Yeah, I miss you too, Grandma. Please let me stay. With both of us begging, Mum finally gave in. I could stay with Grandma for 2 months, but then she insisted on staying with us. Grandma tried to reassure her. I can take care of her just fine, don't worry. But Mum just said, how can I not worry? I'm sorry, Mum, but I'm staying here too. Ever since that day, Mum has been keeping an even closer eye on me. I have to check in whenever I go anywhere, and the beach totally off limits. Like, come on, I'm not a baby anymore. One day, while she and Grandma were out, I snuck off to the beach. It was peaceful and warm, not scary at all like she'd said. The ocean had this gentle pull, like it was calling me. The cool water on my skin woke something up inside me. I took a deep breath and dove under, but immediately came up gasping for air. Suddenly, a giant wave slammed into me and swept me out into the deeper water. I panicked, struggling to stay afloat. Just as I started losing hope, I suddenly saw someone swimming towards me. Was it a merman? He held me close and carried me to the shore. Once I was done coughing up what felt like half the ocean, I finally looked up and saw a super cute guy with soft chestnut hair. Thanks for saving me, he smiled. I'm just glad you're okay. But seriously, You need to learn how to swim. It's a basic life skill. It could totally save you in situations like that." I sighed. I've always wanted to, but my mum won't let me. Really? Well, if you want, I could teach you. I'm Otus, a swim coach. Wait, really? A swim coach? This was perfect. But can we do it at night? My mum's super strict during the day. He agreed. Tomorrow night it is. I waved goodbye and ran back home, grinning like a total goofball. That night, I actually dreamed I was a mermaid swimming through the sea with my handsome merman, Otus. From then on, I snuck out every single night to train with him. He was so patient, and I worked my butt off. My swimming improved really fast. One evening, he handed me a piece of paper. "There's a swim meet in the city next month. Want to go for it?" I looked at the form, my heart pounding. Yes, I'll do my best. Holding that registration form felt like holding my entire future in my hands. This was my chance. I just hoped Mum would never find out. I've always loved the ocean, the feeling of the water around me, the sound of the waves. It's where I feel most alive. This year, my goal was clear: to win the annual swim competition. I trained every single day, pushing myself harder and harder. The trophy wasn't just a prize. It was my dream, something I could almost feel in my hands. One evening, just as I was getting ready for practice, the sky turned dark. A storm rolled in out of nowhere. The wind howled, thunder cracked, and rain started pouring down. My coach Otus and I had to make a run for it. We found shelter in a small, rickety shack by the shore. From the window, I watched the sea. It was pitch black, and the waves were crashing violently against the sand. For a moment, a wave of fear washed over me. Otus must have noticed. He gently asked, "You okay? It's safe in here. Don't worry." I took a deep breath. My mom always said the sea was dangerous, I confessed. And after I almost drowned as a kid, I believed her. But thanks to you, I'm not scared anymore. Otus looked at me, and in that instant, as our eyes met, something just sparked. He took a step closer, and my heart started pounding. I didn't move away. But just as the space between us disappeared, a huge clap of thunder boomed, making us both jump back. We looked at each other, startled, and then burst out laughing. The tension was broken, but the feeling lingered. When the rain finally stopped, Otus and I started to head back. But then we saw a figure on the beach. It was my mum, and she was sobbing. "Alice, where are you? Alice." She cried out, her voice filled with panic. "Mum, what's wrong?" I called, running towards her. She grabbed me, pulling me into a desperate hug. I could feel her entire body shaking. I found your shoes in the sand," she whispered, her voice trembling. I thought something terrible had happened. "I'm okay, Mum, I promise," I said, trying to calm her down. "Why didn't you listen to me? I told you to stay away from the ocean," she exclaimed, her fear turning into anger. "Don't worry," I reassured her. I was training with a professional coach. It's totally safe. But the moment she laid eyes on Otis standing behind me, her face turned pale as a sheet. "You again," she hissed, her voice dripping with venom. "Are you trying to hurt my daughter all over again?" I looked from my mum to Otis. His face had gone completely ghost white. "Mum, what are you talking about?" I asked, utterly confused. "We're leaving," she declared, grabbing my arm, "and you are never to see him again." She yanked me away, practically dragging me down the beach. I glanced back and saw Otis just standing there, frozen, with a look of pure pain on his face. What on earth had happened between them? I had to know. I asked my mum over and over again on the way home, but she wouldn't say a single word. Her silence was a wall I couldn't break through. When we got back, I tried calling Otis, but he didn't pick up. My mind was racing. I couldn't just let this go. I had to find out what was going on. So I decided to do some investigating myself. I waited until my mum was distracted and snuck into her room. I didn't know what I was looking for, but I had a feeling the answer was hidden somewhere in her past. After digging through drawers and old boxes for what felt like an eternity, I found it. Tucked away at the bottom of her jewelry box was a faded photograph of a young boy. He looked so much like me, it was uncanny. Who was he? Holding the photo tightly in my hand, I ran to find my grandma. If anyone knew the story, it would be her. The moment she saw the picture, her expression softened and a sad smile touched her lips. "That's your older brother," she said softly. "He passed away more than 10 years ago. He drowned. Right here at this beach." The world around me seemed to stop. My heart sank into my stomach and my throat tightened. I had a brother. Mum never ever told me. "Your mum was shattered after losing him," Grandma continued. "That's why she left this place. She only comes back once a year on May 20th to visit his grave." My mind reeled. The pieces were starting to click into place, but one was still missing. "And Otis?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "How was he involved?" Grandma sighed. "Otis was your brother's best friend. They went to the beach together that day. There was a terrible accident. Otis survived." My breath hitched. "Mum still blames him, doesn't she?" Grandma nodded sadly. "It wasn't his fault. It was a tragic accident. But your mum, she's never been able to forgive him. And Otis, poor boy, he still carries that guilt. That's why he became a swim coach. He wants to make sure no kid ever goes through what your brother did." Suddenly, my mum appeared in the doorway. She snatched the photo right out of Grandma's hands, her eyes blazing. "If he hadn't taken my son to the ocean that day, none of this would have happened," she cried, before storming back to her room and slamming the door. I waited a few minutes, took a deep breath, and quietly knocked on her door. "Mum, can I come in?" No response. I tried the handle. It wasn't locked, thank goodness. She was curled up on her bed, clutching the photo to her chest, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. I sat down next to her. "Mum," I said gently, I know everything now. I love you so much." She finally looked at me, her eyes red and swollen. "Now you understand why I've been so scared," she choked out. "I couldn't bear to lose you, too. Please, Alice, stop swimming. Stay away from the sea." I felt her pain so deeply, but I could not give up on my dream because of a fear that was not mine to carry. "I want to become a swimmer, Mom," I said, my voice firm but gentle. "I'm not a little kid anymore. I've trained hard. I know how to stay safe. I just hope you'll support me." Her face hardened. "Never. We're going back to the city." Now she rushed into my room and started throwing my things into a suitcase. But then she found it, lying on my desk. My swim competition registration form. Her eyes widened in disbelief. "You signed up behind my back," she whispered, her voice dangerously low. I just forget going home. You're grounded in this room until that stupid competition is over." And with that, she walked out, locking the door behind her. I was a prisoner in my own room, my dream just a few days away and further than ever. The competition's over. "No, Mom, please don't do this." But she was gone. She slammed the door and left me there all alone. It's been 3 days. The swim meet is tomorrow. I couldn't wait any longer. My hands were shaking as I dialed Otus's number. "Otus, can you help me? I can't let this chance go." His voice was calm but firm. "I'll figure something out." A few hours later, a key turned in the lock. It was Grandma. Otus called me, she whispered, handing me a small bag with my swimsuit and goggles. "Your mother is asleep. Go now." I snuck out of the house, my heart pounding in my chest. Otus was waiting by the front gate, his face etched with worry. He grabbed my hand, and we didn't stop running. We ran straight to the harbor where a ship was about to leave for the city. We were almost at the ramp when a familiar voice shouted my name. "Alice, stop." It was Mum. She was running towards us, her face a mask of desperation. I froze. Otus pulled me forward. "We have to go, Alice." We scrambled onto the ship just as the crew was pulling up the gangway. I looked back and saw my mum on the pier, her figure getting smaller and smaller as the ship pulled away. The relief I felt was instantly replaced by a wave of guilt. What have I done? The journey to the city was a blur. My mind was a whirlwind of emotions. I was excited about the competition, but terrified of what I had left behind. Otus stayed by my side the whole time, a quiet, reassuring presence. The next morning, the air in the stadium was electric. The smell of chlorine, the roar of the crowd, it was everything I had dreamed of. I stepped onto the starting block, took a deep breath, and dove in. The water was my sanctuary. With every stroke, I pushed away the fear, the doubt, the guilt. I swam for myself, for my dream, and for the hope that my mum would one day understand. When I touched the wall, the world erupted. I had won. I looked up at the scoreboard, barely believing my eyes. First place, but the victory felt hollow. As I stood on the podium, I searched the crowd, hoping for a miracle, and then I saw them. Standing near the exit was my mum, and next to her, Otus. My heart leaped. She came. She actually came. After the ceremony, I ran to them, Mum. I started, but she pulled me into a hug. I'm so proud of you, Alice. I'm so sorry I let my own fears hold you back. She looked at me, her eyes shining with tears. You were incredible. Go chase your dream, sweetheart. I'll always be here cheering you on. That moment felt like a new beginning. It was like a dam inside me had broken, washing away years of unspoken pain. She finally let go of the past. Then she turned to Otis. For the first time, she smiled at him, a genuine, warm smile. Thank you for saving my daughter. And I'm sorry. Deep down, I always knew the accident wasn't your fault. I just couldn't face the truth. Otis's eyes welled up. I never blamed you, Mrs. Gable. I've prayed every day for your happiness, and I know he would have wanted the same for both of you. The next morning, we boarded a different ship, heading back home. But this time, I wasn't running away. I was returning whole. I had the two most important people in my life right by my side. My mum, my biggest supporter, and Otis, my rock. As we stood on the deck watching the city skyline disappear, I felt a sense of peace I hadn't felt in years. I looked over at my mum and Otis, chatting and laughing together. I looked at the gold medal hanging around my neck, and then I looked out at the endless ocean. My journey was just beginning. Back at school, everything felt different, brighter. The hallways didn't seem so long. The stairs didn't bother me anymore. I had faced my biggest fear, and I had won. Not just the race, but something far more valuable. A few days later, everyone was packing up after swim practice. Otis and I were the last ones to leave, as usual. We walked out into the cool evening air. As we neared the gate, he gently grabbed my arm, stopping me. He looked a little nervous, which was unusual for him. Alice, he started, his voice a little softer than usual. This weekend, want to go on a date with your special someone? A huge smile spread across my face. I'd love that. Standing there with him, under the glow of the streetlights, I realized that some victories aren't measured in medals or trophies. They're measured in moments like these, in forgiveness, in new beginnings, and in the courage to love and be loved. To my mum and to my special someone, thank you. Without your support, I wouldn't have made it this far. And to all of you watching, never give up on your dreams and never underestimate the power of the people who believe in you. Thanks for listening to my story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.